Industry body The City UK has estimated financial exports to be worth £56 billion, but EU ministers are still continuing to finalise the details of a recent Memorandum of Understanding for future regulatory cooperation, 4 months after Brexit. The agreement, which was negotiated separately from the Brexit trade deal, could lead to a forum to closely manage post-Brexit financial services trade. But the restrictions on the city that prevented access to EU financial markets has seen banks move around £1.3 trillion worth of UK assets into the continent, and almost €6 billion of EU share trading shifted from London on the first trading day of this year. Chancellor Mr. Sunak now believes the city should prepare itself for a Big Bang 2.0 post-Brexit. Industry insiders are expecting improvements as the UK battles to stand above its rivals throughout the EU, but believe Mr. Sunak's vision of a Big Bang could take some time. Following the financial crisis in 2008, several strict rules were imposed, including capping bankers' bonuses at 100% of salary. But they are unlikely to be changed amid fears doing so could undermine the UK's reputation for high regulatory standards. Barney Reynolds, global head of financial services at US law firm Shearman & Sterling, told the Daily Telegraph, "I don't think there will be a Big Bang moment where everything is done at once, a big reveal, as each of these topics requires careful thought and consultation." However, I think key aspects of the system are being rethought, which will lead to a big change. There's no point having lots of rules that are poorly drafted and in many cases only obliquely achieve a necessary purpose. The rulebook will look very different in 3 to 5 years. Kate Hoey accused Prime Minister Boris Johnson of an act of betrayal over his Brexit deal, unearthed accounts reveal. According to Baroness Hoey, as a consequence of the deal, Northern Ireland has been abandoned post-Brexit. She wrote in January, the Secretary of State, Brandon Lewis, who has repeatedly stated that there is no trade border down the Irish Sea, puts in mind the joke about the emperor with no clothes. Disappointment among unionists at the involvement of Michael Gove, once seen as the standard-bearer for Friends of the Union, is turning to anger. A post-Brexit trade deal with the United States could be secured quicker than first thought after Liz Truss had positive and productive discussions with her U.S. counterpart. United States Trade Representative Katherine Tai held talks with Boris Johnson's International Trade Secretary yesterday in a bid to tighten up relations. They focused on the trade track pioneered by the UK, which aims to champion free and fair trade, including the reform of the WTO. As well as this, Joe Biden's trade czar urged Ms. Truss to collaborate on addressing topics of mutual interest, including industrial subsidies and the large civil aircraft dispute. The UK's consumer confidence has surged to its highest point for a decade despite Ramona's predicting Brexit would be a disaster for Britain. Claims that the post-Brexit trade deal would cause economic turmoil appear overstated as a survey by Deloitte found consumer confidence has reached a 10-year high. According to Deloitte, in the first quarter of 2021, consumer confidence rose by 6 points to -11%. This calculates as the percentage of consumers who claim their level of confidence increased over the past 3 months. Deloitte attributed this rise to Britain's successful coronavirus vaccination program, with the government hoping to remove the remaining lockdown restrictions by June 21. The EU is badgering the UK to settle its payments for leaving the bloc after talks. Britain has agreed with the EU to make their next payment of the UK's net liabilities under the withdrawal agreement on 30 June 2021. UK officials close to the initial Brexit negotiations told Express.co.uk they would honour the obligations under the deal. But they stressed the payment communications message seemed like a mild form of badgering. A senior EU politician has claimed Brits are fleeing their own country and branded the UK very selfish over coronavirus vaccines in an incendiary interview. The allegations were made by German politician Manfred Weber, who leads the influential European People's Party (EPP) in the European Parliament. Speaking to Deutschland Radio, he also claimed recent rioting in Northern Ireland was Brexit violence, that occurs because of Brexit. Mr. Weber said, the actual result of Brexit is that food deliveries to Great Britain have plummeted by 40%, investments by British companies in Europe have increased by 20 billions, the Brits are fleeing their own country, because they know the single market is important.